It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here, and this is episode number 237 of our podcast, where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens.
More chickens! We drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton. But most importantly,
we hug chickens every day.
And we kiss them too. Don't forget. We brew coffee from a little coffee roaster in Houston, Texas. Bright and early coffee. Holly Ann, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
Native pecan.
Because it's so good. If you are not drinking bright and early coffee, you are missing out. You can get K-Cups over on Amazon. And we have a code CWTCL15 for 15% off a bagged coffee. Where should everybody go?
brightandearlycoffee.com.
And follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Are you ready to sip some of this delicious native pecan coffee and chat?
I am. But first, a word from our sponsor.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubbly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubbly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubbly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubbly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us and Grubbly Farms, use the link grubbly.co/coffee. Try it today. It's summertime in the city. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Technically, it's not summer yet. It's still late spring.
Feels like summertime in the city.
Yeah, it's warm.
So how are you doing over there?
All right, all right. Flowers are blooming. It's warm. Yeah, it does feel like summer.
It feels like summer, man. I don't care what that calendar says. It's hot.
I have another round of things to plant in the garden. Oh, I got some really fun news today.
What's that?
So, you know, Mount Vernon Estate being one of our favorite places out there. Lisa Pregent, who is the livestock manager, Lisa just emailed me earlier. Now, remember, I took some Nankin Bantams down there to them as a donation.
Yeah.
One of the girls went broody and has just hatched chicks. So far, they've hatched 4 healthy chicks.
Nice.
And they're waiting to see how many more hatch. And I just think that's the greatest thing. I love it.
Oh, that's so cute. Congrats to them over there and those new babies. I got to send some pictures. We need some pictures.
Oh, yeah. She's going to send photos as soon as they're all finished hatching.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
I mean, summertime is fun time. It gets hot, but it's still, I don't know. I say this, is it better in the winter, better in the summer? Not sure. Rocky's running amok. He's like, it's summertime. I'm going to run everywhere.
It's better in the spring and fall, and I'm going to stick with that.
Spring and fall is the best.
Spring and fall are
where
great.
we are.
Mm-hmm.
They are the best. Well, on that note, if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcast and leave us a written review. It does amazing things for the growth of our show. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button because 2 things. You never want to miss any of this fun. You don't want to miss any of the episodes, and they count them.
If you're looking for other ways to help support the show, you can tell a few chicken, goose, or duck-loving friends about us. You can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can become a patron of the show, patreon.com/coffee with the chicken ladies. Huge thank you to our new patrons and our old patrons as well. We love all of you. The other thing you can do to help support the show is visit our website and our show note, use our affiliate links and discount codes, and buy products from our sponsor.
You know what I love when it's 95 degrees outside?
Being inside.
Well, that too, but I really love cleaning my igloo chicken coop.
Yeah, it is so easy to clean. You don't have to break a sweat.
And you can use a water hose or pressure washer, so it doubles as a cool down. I also love those run covers.
Oh man, the shade is superb. I go into the run to cool off.
Yep, my flock's covered during the heat of the day, just chilling.
Meanwhile, we're melting on the patio. Seriously, can we get in on this amazing coop design for ourselves?
They're out there living the dream.
So when it's pushing 100 degrees, the right setup matters.
That's why we choose an igloo.
Get your girls their own just in time for summer.
Search Omelette. That's OMLET.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you like monthly subscriptions?
Does it have anything to do with chickens?
Of course.
Then yeah. Let us take a minute to tell you about Chicken Love.
You get a monthly Chicken Lady tea, treats for your flock, and a keeper care card.
And did you know with every multi-month subscription, you get a free Chicken Love logo t-shirt?
Really?
Yeah.
It's $36 a month with free shipping.
What are you waiting for? Get off the nest and click already. That's chickenlove.com. That's chickenluv.com. Get your subscription today.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by Murray McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, Murray McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business, working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards.
Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today. La, summertime is the best time if you like it hot and if you like a good breed spotlight. Yeah.
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 I don't like it hot. I do not like it hot at all.
Some like it hot, hot, hot.
Yeah, and some sweat when the heat is on.
The heat is on.
Okay. I'm going to comfort myself with the fact that that doesn't sound anywhere near enough like the original that we could get sued for using it.
I'm the best singer ever. But more importantly,
well, what you might make up for perfect, what you might lack in perfect diction, you make up for with enthusiasm.
I got it. So this week's breed spotlight is
the Langshan.
After that big long introduction, yes, the Langshan.
This is a fantastic bird. This is a bird that's great for beginners. Like, I will wax poetic about the Langshan as long as you will let me, because I just think they are not well known enough and more people should have them.
A chicka, chicka, chicka. Ooh. Yeah.
Damn. The beautiful Langshan is the third member, along with the Cochins and the Brahmas, of the American Poultry Association's Asiatic class of chickens.
Which is one of our favorite classes. Let's
Absolutely.
Just put it out there.
These are big, handsome, friendly, dual-purpose chickens that originated in China. Now, they are a very old breed, and they served as a foundation breed for a lot of other heritage breeds,
right,
including the original Black Orpington, the Jersey Giant, the Barnevelder, and the modern Morans.
Some of our all-time faves.
Absolutely. When we profiled the Langshan 2 years ago, they were in the watch category of the Livestock Conservancy's conservation priority list. Unlike a lot of chicken breeds, the Langshan has gone backwards.
No.
And they are now listed as threatened.
What?
Yes. Isn't that crazy? Because these are absolutely fantastic chickens.
How is that possible?
People are getting other breeds, I guess. I mean, the Brahmas are recovered. The Cochins, I don't know if the Cochins are still in the same spot or not, but the Langshans absolutely went backwards.
Wow. That is not good news for sure.
So while the Cochins and the Brahmas were named for the geographical areas from which they were exported, the Langshans were bred and developed in Langshan, China. So they were named for the place where they were bred. Langshan is a scenic mountainous region in Xining County, Hunan Province, north of the Yangtze River. Sources say that Langshan translates to Wolf Hill. You'll see that everywhere.
Arr!
Yes. Now, after centuries of living quietly in the Chinese countryside, the Langshans were discovered, and I'm using air quotes. The Chinese knew about them. They were discovered by the Western world.
Right.
By the nephew of Major F.T. Crowd. Because Crowd Langshan is what these birds are called in the UK. So a couple of things. I have not been able to find to date the name of the nephew who was traveling through China, nor have I been able to find the actual first name of Miss A.C. Crowd, but we'll get to her in a bit.
I mean, the Crows, it's all in the family, man.
Apparently it is. So this nephew of Major Crowd, he was doing work for the British government, and he was traveling through China in areas that most visitors don't see or didn't see at the time. He found the Langshan chickens remarkable, and he was so impressed by their beauty and the iridescent sheen of their black feathers that he decided to buy some and ship them home to his uncle in England. And that was about 1872. Now, in 1876, about 4 years after their arrival in the UK, Langshans arrived in the U.S. They were imported by a man named E.A. Samuels. This 19th century convention of just using people's initials is sometimes irritating to me.
They kept a low profile that way because you really couldn't figure out who the heck they were.
Right, it was considered polite. But anyway, the man's name is E.A. Samuels, and he was an ornithologist, and he lived in Waltham, Massachusetts. So ornithologist, he studied birds. In both countries, the US and the UK, the Langshan faced an uphill battle from haters and detractors. Why does a beautiful domestic chicken have haters and detractors? Is there anything so silly?
That makes me laugh because it's so dumb. It's like, seriously.
Well, for whatever reason, many poultry fanciers claim that the Langshans were not a distinct breed. They considered them to be a very poor specimen of Cochin.
Oh, man.
They look very dissimilar, in my opinion.
Well, you have both, so you would know. You look at them every day.
They're very different birds. Now, the Livestock Conservancy notes that this may be because the Langshans were also imported through Shanghai. And there may have been some confusion there because at the time, Cochins were called Shanghai fowl.
Right, exactly.
So it's possible that these black birds with feathered legs came in, even though they're so different, people could have just said these are all, Shanghai's, Cochins.
Right.
Now, in the UK, the Langshan was championed by someone a bit surprising at the time. It was a woman. While Major Crode often gets the credit for the Crode Langshan name, it was his niece, Miss A.C. Crode, who fought tirelessly to establish this bird as a distinct breed with great merit. And every time I read her name and her initials, A.C., I think Amelia Catherine.
I think Allison Catherine or Alicia, which might be too modern.
Anna Christina? I don't know.
Yeah.
Any of the above. Anyway, now she wrote a book, and I did buy it. I tracked it down and bought it.
Of course you did.
It's called The Langshan Fowl, and she published it in 1899. The Crode part of the breed name was an homage to her work. Just about every poultry expert of the day, most being men, argued that she was wrong. This was not a separate breed with great merit. And even later, once the Langshan was recognized, our good friend Lewis Wright had to point out that the Langshan fanciers, in other words, Miss Crode, had gone about it all wrong and caused endless grief for themselves and everyone else involved, including the birds. Way to deflect, Lewis. Way to deflect.
Lewis is not my friend. Let's just put it out.
Well, remember a couple weeks ago when you said, wouldn't I want to have dinner with him? And I said, no.
I did.
No,
I'm like, look, you want all of his wisdom, what you want to have, and give him a big hug. And it sparked that whole conversation on hugging. But
I give him a poke. So the whole Cochin Langshan debacle went on for quite a while. I mean, several years, with the result that showing them was a complete muddle until a separate standard had been established. And this is my favorite anecdote. In 1878, Lady Gwendon entered her Langshans in both the Black Cochin and the Langshan categories at a poultry show, and she won both of them.
They were some good birds.
I love that. The Crode Langshan Club of the UK was formed in 1904 to help support the breed and to keep a standard. Langshans were admitted to the American Poultry Association Standard of Perfection in 1883 in the black color variety. The white followed about 10 years later in 1893, but the blue wasn't admitted until 1987. The American Langshans are considered to be the Crode Langshan type, but the Crode is dropped here because they're the only type we have.
Exactly.
The American Langshan Club was founded in 1887 and is still around today, and they have an active Facebook group.
Go join it.
Now, in addition to the US and the Crode Langshan in the UK, there are also some other related Langshan breeds. Just in case you stumble upon these, don't be confused. The UK has a modern Langshan, and there are also German and Australian Langshans. They all have their own standards, and sometimes they have very different features.
It makes sense. I mean, it's like people. You got different people in different countries. You got different chickens in different countries.
There you go.
There you go.
That sums it up.
We're all one world, different chickens.
One world, one chicken. No, one world,
Exactly.
different chickens.
Exactly. Okay, so let's look at their physical attributes. The Langshans are tall, long-legged birds with feather legs with feathered legs and feet. They have those beautiful dark eyes, a straight comb, red earlobes, and blue, black, or the slate colored legs. Now, the feathers on their legs are not as long or full as in the other Asiatics. So
They're not wearing pants.
They got some short feathered legs there.
It's just nowhere near, their feathers are nowhere near as heavy. The Brahmas are a bit heavier, and then the Cochins are way heavier.
Yeah. So they grow these huge full tails, and the cockerels are known for growing extra long sickle feathers. Roosters average at about 8.5 to 9.5 pounds. They're big boys, and the hens around 7.5 pounds. These are big chickens. Asiatics are usually big chickens, mostly all of them. Now, the Langshans are available in black, white, blue, and splash color varieties. While they are smaller than Cochins and Brahmas, they are taller than both their cousin breeds. So you may have to make some extra provisions for them, and they have an understated beauty that comes with their height.
They're very elegant chickens. I don't know if you remember when Jane arrived, I was absolutely smitten. I could tell immediately she was different than all the other chicks. She had stockier legs, and I was absolutely smitten with her. I've been smitten with her since the first moment I saw her.
Oh, yeah. They also have a fairly distinctive U-shaped silhouette and are all around a well-balanced bird. So when you look at them, they're not going to have that straight back. It's more going to look like a U.
Right.
Langshans are available also as bantams, okay? So
Which
that's
is probably
good.
so ridiculously cute.
They're so cute. They will go broody, and they have been known to be decent layers at around 150 to 180 eggs per year of dark brown color. So if you need a dark egg layer in your flock to have those rainbow colored eggs, the Langshan might be for you. Rarely there are some with a plum colored bloom on them. So
Jane has the plum colored bloom. It's a small egg for a big chicken.
Yeah.
But it's almost a purpley bloom on it. Now, I will say this.
It's not a ton of eggs here.
See, remember I got the blue Langshans about a year ago, and I got them as point of lay pullets.
Right.
They have been laying about 6 eggs a week since that point.
Oh my God. I was like, they are laying machines over there.
But here's what happened. Here's what happened. So they started to slow down just the tiniest bit. Delphinium is still laying, but Hyacinth decided she's going to go broody. And she's a hardcore broody. And I pitch her out of that box at least twice a day. And
they go broody, man. I mean, there are those breeds that you can't, it's hard to break. And you're lucky if you get one that isn't on those breeds, but they're going to go. When they go, it's hard to break them.
And I keep telling her she's not going to have anything to hatch because Casper's firing blanks at this point in his life. I candled him. I say this with truth.
It was a war last summer with Peony and Francesca, the two Cochins, because one after the other, they just wanted to go. And they were persistent. Like, I was out there 20 times a day. It was horrible.
Determined broodies.
Like I said, it's not a ton of eggs, but reports say that the hens will lay late into life. So that's a good thing. And they're also a good winter layer. So keep that in mind, that they're going to start laying earlier in the year, because I think sometimes winter layers are more broody chickens because they prepare when it gets warm, they're going to go broody.
There might be truth to that. Yeah.
It might be a little of nature's way of saying, like, look, we're going to start you off earlier so you get some more eggs out.
Right. And then you're going broody.
Before it gets warm. Yeah. But they will make excellent moms, which is great. Make sure that they're safe around those chicks, though, because they're incredibly big and the chicks are tiny. So you got to make sure they're not stepping on chicks.
Yeah.
Now, the Langshan chicks are big with stocky feet and legs. They're really cute.
They're so cute. They're very alert and curious birds. I think they're beautiful. I probably need to get some whites at some point. McMurray's white Langshan flock is APA accredited. So
yes, you could show them.
Yeah, you could show them. Absolutely.
You'd be like, look, we're going to Columbus so I can show these chickens. Let's go.
I ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that. I mean, people that show do, but we don't.
These two people don't right now.
Right.
Like the other Asiatics, these chickens are as sweet and friendly as they are beautiful. So just keep that all in mind. And they're good at a lot of jobs.
They're dual purpose. They make a good homestead breed, but they definitely need predator protection because they're curious and not like highly strung. They're very placid.
Right.
I feel like, I mean, they don't lay you a ton of eggs, but I feel like they lay more than enough eggs to make them a really good contributor to the average household.
It's kind of like the Orpingtons for a beginner breed.
Right.
I really, really believe that most people should start with Orpingtons for their family, just a few, but they're not known as the best layers.
Right.
But it's enough for like a family of 4 or 5.
Absolutely.
If you have 4 chickens, so it gets you through. Now, they are moderately active. They enjoy scratching and foraging, so they might need some supervised free ranging time. No mite about it. They will, that's for sure.
They have wonderful personalities. I mean, I just love mine. They make an excellent choice for families, for kids in 4-H, for poultry shows, or really anyone who likes a beautiful and calm bird. Like we said, they are decent layers. And this is a plus for some people that they will hatch and raise chicks for you. Some people like to do it all the broody hen way. And that's fantastic if you want to go that way or if you're working off grid.
And they're classified as more of an elegant, kind of fancy chicken. So if you want that flash as that chicken lady or gent, you're going to want to add a Langshan to your flock. And not to mention conservation, you're going to be helping them out. That's
absolutely. Sure. They are a cold hardy breed, but watch those straight combs, especially on the roos, both of them. They're known to fare reasonably well in the heat. I mean, the Cochins and the Brahmas definitely struggle more in the heat than my Langshans do, but they do just fine in the cold. They're just doing their thing.
Yeah. Their large size makes low roost kind of important for them. You don't want them making huge jumps. They can injure their legs, and we don't want that. So those lower roosts are good. And some Langshans are reported to prefer sleeping down in the bedding, which I say this every time. Why aren't these chickens sleeping in the bedding anyway? It's more comfy. Two of my Cochins, Indigo and Nutmeg, sleep in the bedding every night. They refuse to perch. They've never perched their whole life. Clover does not perch at all, which we know why. Right. But also Charlotte, one of my Jubilee Orpingtons, she's back and forth. Sometimes she sleeps down, sometimes she sleeps up. And I'm always like, are you keeping Clover company or do you like it? So I think it's a little of both. Both, yeah. Now, all important question here. Where do we find this Langshan? McMurray's lines of black and white Langshans are absolutely gorgeous. And like we said, the white Langshans are APA certified if you're interested in showing or you just want excellent breeding stock. If you want blue and splash Langshans, you can just get some blacks and whites and breed them together. You can also check out the Livestock Conservancy's breeders directory. There are various Langshan clubs in the UK, the US, and Australia. And Sandhill Preservation Center sells them straight run. I love my blue Langshans. They're stunning. Yeah, and you got them from a veterinarian who was a local breeder, actually, who did all the good things, vaccinated them for everything, and did all the good things as pullets. And he had a pretty high price tag on them, and I happily paid that because I wanted top quality, healthy birds in a hurry. Yeah, you needed them for Casper. So, yeah, exactly. So, if you have a Langshan of any color or variety, put them on a story, on IG, hit the mention button, put in Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, and we will reshare your Langshans gladly. Let's help this bird because they need it and we can. So everybody get a Langshan and add it to your flock. Then we'll really help everybody. You won't regret it. They have an amazing personality. You might get lucky enough to get the plum-colored bloom, and they're gorgeous. They are. Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of backyard ducks? Look no further than Metzer Farms, your premier destination for top-quality waterfowl. Whether you're a seasoned breeder or just starting out, Metzer Farms has everything you need to elevate your flock to the next level. And if you're passionate about call ducks, you're in for a treat. Metzer Farms hatches a stunning variety of call ducks, meticulously bred for their miniature size, beauty, and calm temperament. From snowy whites to vibrant colors, each duck is a masterpiece waiting to grace your backyard. Visit MetzerFarms.com today to browse their extensive selection and start your journey into the wonderful world of waterfowl. Metzer Farms, where passion meets perfection. If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera. Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera US.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today. Okay, so are we ready to move on to main topic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we kind of started this on last week's episode when we started talking about first aid kit.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to continue the conversation about chicken hospitals because we believe setting up one and having it ready to go is really, really important.
Or at least have the components to get it set up in a hurry.
Right. Or the place or whatever you need. So we're going to start out kind of like last week. A place to put your chicken is highly essential when they are sick. Pop-up, crate, dog crate, cat crate, someplace.
A good sized dog or cat carrier.
Anything.
Even a pet stroller.
Exactly. And then we're going to talk about how the pet stroller can come into play because this is one of the things that you will need for your chicken hospital.
Right. So once you've gotten and you can even think outside the box here. Some people use small tents. A tent will work if it keeps your birds safe.
Right.
And what's the word I'm looking for? Contained.
Right.
And it'll do what you need to do.
So the chicken hospital is a place that you can keep your chicken while they're healing from an injury, a surgery, or while they're dealing with an illness, and where they can convalesce to kind of get back to their strong selves so that they can go back into the flock. A chicken that is weak, sick, injured will not fend very well in the flock. They will try to kill them. There's no nice way to put it. They're
really
going to
will.
go after them.
And so with whatever you decide to use as your chicken hospital, I mean, even a small coop, like we were talking about, the small omelet coop could work. But whatever you're using, then you need to decide on your bedding. And you need something soft and absorbent. And there's an exception to this, and that is crop issues, where you might have somebody who tries to eat the bedding, or where you need to monitor poop. And in that case, you're going to use white towels.
And Walmart has very inexpensive, very cheap white towels that you can get that we've both used for chickens with crop issues when you're poop watching, when you don't want them to eat shavings because, they're a junk eater. White towels are an excellent thing to have in setting up a chicken hospital. I kind of look as a chicken hospital as this is not a fun thing to do, but to set your hospital up so that you're ready to go and make it one of those things that it's kind of like a priority. It's kind of fun to have the things ready to go if you need them. It's not fun, and it's a weird way to say it, but I'm a person that likes setting things up. So it's kind of like...
I think you get satisfaction. I think you're getting satisfaction with fun, but I think it's just the satisfaction of knowing that if something does happen, it's an insurance policy. You've got some things ready to go.
Right, exactly.
Now, if you're not using the white towels, the other beddings we like are very soft wood shavings or hemp.
Yes, exactly. Something soft that they can relax in, that keeps them cool, dry, clean, warm, all those different things. The other thing is always have at least one of your panel heaters down that's ready to go, even in the summer. For someone who's in shock, injured, sick, they might need the extra warmth. And the other thing is to look for a place where you can have this set up. Now, mine is in my garage, and so is yours.
Right.
It's where you can put fans on them if you need to get it cooler.
Right.
Have the fans ready, have the heaters ready. It's a place where we have multiple. We can put a pop-up up, put the bedding in it, and they can be comfortable and be treated and then nursed.
I will say, because we dealt with this, make sure there are no rodents in your garage because mice will chew holes in soft shelters to get into your chicken's feed.
Oh, that's not good.
No. No, we had a pretty new pop-up. I don't even remember who we had in it. And a stinking mouse. We've had issues with, probably because we're in a rural area, we're farms surrounded by farms, but mice will show up when it starts getting chilly.
Yeah, so you have to watch out for that.
Yeah, and it literally ate a hole in my brand new pop-up.
That's no fun. That's no fun. So setting up the hospital so that you're all ready to put them in is half of the game here. Half of having a place so they can relax, get better. Then your first aid kit comes in that we talked about last week, where we're talking about bringing in all those things that you need to take care of them. And Holly Ann mentioned a pet stroller. I think every hospital that you have for your chicken, a pet stroller is essential. I do.
It is really helpful in a lot of ways. But before we talk about the pet stroller in detail, I want to go back to the hospital pop-up for just a second, because food and water, you can use pretty much anything for your food and water dishes. We just use small bowls that we pick up at the thrift shop. But you have to assess what's going on with your bird. If your bird can't get up, you might need to put the food and water lower so that she can reach them.
Right.
If she's up and doing her thing, you might be able to sit them up on bricks so they stay a little cleaner. It's all, what's the word I'm looking for? It's really just based on what you're treating your chicken for and what positions work the best for her.
I really think the pop-ups are, to me, the best thing to have for your chicken hospital, because they fold flat, they're easy to store, and when you unfold them, you can give them enough space, if you get a big enough one, so that they can actually walk around if they like to, and be able to stretch their legs some if they feel like they can, if that's something they can do. Sometimes the carriers are great just if you have to bring them in at night and sleep, but someplace where they can actually get up and walk and eat and do some things in there. Then I wanted to, before we even get to the stroller, but like we were talking about the omelet pro, not the pro, but the go up. That with the run on the front is perfect if you have to separate somebody for a hospital.
Right.
It's perfect.
If they're well enough that they can, come in and out of the coop and they get a little run space, say they're recovering from a surgery or something, that's really fantastic. When you have a chicken that needs more intensive care, you might choose to have them inside in any of the aforementioned things. And
it's like ICU versus the main floor, kind of like.
Yes, it is.
When for 15 years I was a nurse for animals, that's why it's fun for me. That's why I call it fun, because it's like, oh yeah, like bandages. That's fun.
Oh my God.
Fun. But setting it all up so that it's like ready to go is half the game. So having a pop-up, having your bedding, having, if you have a small coop and run that are attached, just like the omelet go up, it's perfect. It's inexpensive. You can have it set up. If you need to take your rooster out for a little while and give them a timeout, perfect for that to use when you're not using it as a hospital.
Yeah.
Look at the other ways that you can use it, and then when you need it, it's there.
If you use something a little bigger, like a bigger sized pop-up or something along those lines, a tent, whatever, if you have a bird that's convalescing, but she's well enough to have a friend or two with her, that lets you do that too. That's just something to think about. And if you only have two hens and one of them needs to be in for intensive care, then you might want both of them in at the same time. So you might want the extra space.
So let's talk about the run with the go up, the omelet. That's just like injury. They can still function. Then you have a pop-up. That's like ICU.
Right.
That's kind of like you're going to be in. They're getting constant care. Now let's talk about the stroller. The stroller can be used even for a further step when they need to be next to you and confined.
Right.
This is for a bird that's in very critical condition that needs to be right with you, and they're laying, they're not moving. You can set up these pet strollers to be mobile. So wherever you are, you can move that bird with you. It's something that I've used multiple times. It gives you peace of mind.
It's great with a bird that's non-ambulatory. So I had Esther, and eventually Esther was affected with zinc toxicity, and eventually she eventually lost her ability to walk. And we spent a good year with her. I mean, so we had to help her with everything, with dust bathing, with everything. But if she was in the stroller and I wanted to go outside, I could take her out with me for fresh air. She could sit in the stroller next to me while I worked and not be alone. And they're a pricier option. I think I paid $80 for mine. That doesn't break the bank for me, but I know that might be a little hard for some people. But you picked up yours secondhand.
I picked up mine on Facebook Marketplace for $30.
Yeah.
I've gotten my well worth my $30 out of it.
Oh, yeah.
I use my stroller for carting chickens all around, from the runs to the house, to do this, to do that. I don't know what I would do without my stroller. I'm at the point where I want another stroller. Now, there are options. You can look for yard sales, thrift, marketplace, like I found mine. You can go on Amazon where you got yours. They have lots of options there. The one place I probably wouldn't go is Chewy. When I priced them there, they were $200 plus.
They must have some fancy strollers because they were pricey.
You can find them a lot less expensive than on there because you can find them different price counters. But having that, it also folds up. You can also take a chicken out and take her for a walk that if a chicken is not doing well. I have laid at night with a chicken, my arm in the stroller, with a chicken. It was highly critical. So it gives you peace of mind. These are just options of things that you may not think of that we've done over the years for the chicken hospital. That setup is everything.
Right.
Setup is everything. It's going to make things go a lot smoother.
And think about when you're setting it up, the wares, make sure you're not going to have rough and tumble pets that might be falling on it. Make sure you don't have little kids that are going to be messing with the sick chicken or jumping on the sides of the pop-up because they spring back up or any of these things. You have to make sure the bird is not in a draft, that they're warm enough, that they have light during the day. All of those things that a chicken would normally need. It's just guaranteeing their safety and happiness in other ways. Yeah.
So that's a setup. Now, what goes along with it is the first aid kit, powder to liquid food, all the nutrients, extra nutrients that they need. We talked about that before. We won't go into that again. But if you have any questions or concerns about setting up a chicken hospital, do you have something else you want to say about it?
Yeah, I was thinking about Esther. I learned a lot from Esther when she lost her ability to walk.
Live and learn, right?
Right.
Exactly.
And so we did keep a heater in there, though it wasn't on all the time. She quite liked it. Because she wasn't ambulatory, we had to watch her because sometimes she would lay against the panel, and she did burn a bit of her wing one time.
Right.
So we started covering the panel with one of the cheap white towels that we got from Walmart. You can cover the panel heater with that safely because the panel heaters are zero clearance. The bird can lie against it, or even if she falls over and gets mildly stuck, it's not going to burn her.
Right.
Those towels, we would also cut them in half straight down the middle and roll them and use them as props.
Right. You can do all these things.
Yeah.
The other thing is you could take, which at night you don't think of in your hospital, is covering that pop-up from draft overnight, and also making it nice and dark because they will stay awake if it's not. So covering the pop-up with a nice sheet or a blanket at night to keep them nice and warm.
Yep.
And to keep that light out until morning so that they have as normal of a rhythm as they can.
Yeah, because you don't want to mess with their circadian rhythms if you're having them in the house in artificial light. Yeah.
Right. So keep that in mind. The other thing is if you have any questions or concerns on, setting it up, just message us. We'll be, more than happy to answer any questions you have. We just wanted to talk about it because setting it up is half of the battle here. If you're ready to go, be prepared, not scared. This is the way to do it.
This is your next step into the hardcore chicken lady life.
Yeah. Be prepared, not scared. It makes it easier. That's for sure.
It does.
Okay.
Our friends at Good Eggs solved the age-old question of how should I wash my eggs?
They're chicken people just like us who created the original silicone egg scrubber.
Both Chrissy and I use their brush and natural enzyme wash every time.
It's a total game changer.
It makes cleaning eggs so much faster and easier. Plus, they have a lifetime guarantee.
Good Egg is a small family business right here in the U.S., and they donate 10% of all profit directly to folks affected by cancer.
Go check them out at goodeggstuff.co.
That's goodeggstuff.co. Tell them Chrisie&Holly sent you. So are you ready to move on to
Cracking the eggs.
cracking those eggs? Now, strawberries are in season in our part of the world. You can get them at the farmer's market. You can grow your own right now. So we're doing strawberry recipes. And one thing that we love are strawberry pancakes.
Strawberries are delicious. We're starting with the strawberry pancakes. We made these gluten and dairy free. Chris, carry away the ingredients.
Okay, let's do it. And one thing is we're adding Chantilly cream to them. So
Right.
does it get any better than that? I don't know.
Not really.
Okay, so let's do the ingredients. 1 cup of all-purpose flour or gluten-free flour, 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a pinch of sea salt, a cup of milk or dairy-free milk, 1 large egg. Doesn't take a lot for this recipe. 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1 cup of those fresh chopped strawberries that are so delish.
You're going to grab yourself about a medium-sized mixing bowl. You're going to stir the flour, the sugar, the baking powder, and the salt together. Make a little well in the middle. You're going to pour in the milk, the egg, the oil, and the vanilla, and mix until it's well blended, and then gently stir in your strawberries. You want a nice big skillet or griddle. Put those over medium heat, grease or spray, whatever you usually do. Drop the pancake batter by large spoonfuls onto the griddle and cook until bubbles form and the edges are dry, so like 2 to 3 minutes.
Right.
Flip and cook until browned on the other side, another minute or 2, and just repeat until you have yourself a nice stack of strawberry pancakes.
And then you have that Chantilly cream. Now, the ingredients for this are 1 cup of heavy whipping cream or dairy-free whipping cream, and it has to be cold. 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of cream cheese or dairy-free cream cheese, and it has to be softened.
You can get super fancy and you can drop, like you can scrape a vanilla bean or you can drop a little bit of vanilla bean paste if you want this really vanilla-y. But the basic vanilla extract works pretty well. You're going to add all the ingredients to a large mixing bowl. And with the whisk attachment on your hand beaters, you're going to beat this at medium-high speed until fluffy peaks form. Beat this until it is thick. You want your whipped cream firm. So then you get to decorate. And I've seen people do pancakes like in the prettiest ways where they do pancake cream, strawberries, pancake cream, strawberries, and then put strawberries and edible flowers on the top for garnish. And it just looks so pretty. Almost too good to eat, but not too good to eat.
The other thing that you can do is sometimes get other extracts and you can change the flavor of your cream if you dare.
You could do like strawberries with lemon cream.
Exactly. Like there's all the different extracts out there, all different kinds of flavors. So if you feel like you want to explore those, you could try that too. Make it your own.
You know what would be pretty is if you chopped up and threw some rose petals into that cream.
Oh, yeah, it'd be really
Strawberry
pretty.
pancakes with rose cream.
Oh, that would be good. Okay, so try it. You might like it. No, you will like it.
You will like it.
And let us know what you think. Okay, so let's move on to retail therapy. Retail therapy. Yeah. Now, there's a little story behind this week's retail therapy. A few weeks ago, before Mother's Day, I was out with the family. We went to brunch, and then we were driving around, and any yard sale we saw, we kind of got to stop at because it was Mother's Day weekend. It was before. So I'm like, oh, yard sale. And then everybody's like, oh. And I was like, but it's Mother's Day weekend, so we had to stop.
We had to stop.
So the one I stopped had like, it was one of those at a church where it had multiple people, selling
lots of tables. Mm-hmm.
And there was, we're going to put the picture up with this episode, a goose pincushion.
You sent me a photo of this and I lost my mind. It is so stinking cute. It's going to be one of my prized possessions.
Yeah. And you're going to get it soon because we haven't, we have to see each other to get it.
You're a big spender too. You shouldn't spend that much money on me.
I spent $1 on you. But you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. That's for sure.
The thing is, I've seen, like, I think I did when I was a librarian in the public library, I taught art classes, right?
Right.
Fiber arts. And so I helped everyone make a pincushion that was just like a little chicken that we stitched together. But I've not, like, this one is a porcelain goose and its back has a patch of velvet where the pins go.
It's an old one. It's mid-century, maybe 1940s, before mid-century. I'm not sure, but it's pretty old. It's made in Japan, and it's got the whole, like, the little back, and they're highly collectible. We have never yet talked about pincushions. How does that come up? Like,
I don't know.
It takes a yard sale pincushion for us to be like, let's talk about these pincushions. Now, there are lots of chicken pincushions that are what you're talking about.
Right.
Where people use quilting fabric, and it's almost like a little triangle.
Yes.
And they make the chicken, and then they use felt for the beak and for the combs.
Right.
And they're all over Etsy. You can find them looking like whatever. I mean, they're highly useful. I think they're made like to use them for the pincushions. Now,
specifically for that, yes.
This is off subject, but what my pincushion that I own is the one that probably every person that's our age has.
The tomato.
It's the tomato.
It's the tomato.
Okay. Raise your hand if before I even said that, you were thinking it's the tomato, because how many people have a tomato pincushion out there? Like 1 million people. I mean,
I was trying to think about this because I did another pincushion that was felt, and they were eggs. So we made like big, they were like true to life egg shapes, but they were pincushions too. And what we're talking about, the goose pincushion,
that is a vintage ceramic pottery chicken with
that's what I was about to say. The goose pincushion is ceramic with the soft patch. And so that's what we're trying to track down, these old ones that are ceramic with the soft patch.
Yes. So there are hens out there. This one is on, I believe, where is this on? This is eBay, and it's $20. It was sold. So somebody bought this one.
Yeah.
So if you know, right now sewing is hot. Sewing's hot.
Been hot for a little while. I mean, I think DIY crafts are hitting another resurgence for a bunch of reasons.
Exactly. So this is another spot where being a chicken lady or gent can reflect your life, right? When you love chickens, you're going to have the chicken pincushion. There's one on Etsy that's super cute.
I think this one is new. It is also a ceramic chicken. Oh, Chris, wait, I just realized something. We can take all of those mid-century ceramic planters that we have
and make
that are too small to be planters, but they can be pincushions.
Yes, that's awesome. Okay. Yes, that's amazing.
My two brain cells were rubbing together for a minute there. Woo, there
are so many. Oh my God, I just came across the tomatoes with the little tomato vine that hangs off the side.
I saw a wreath made out of the tomatoes one time.
Okay, so this is going to blow your mind. Can you see this from back there? Wait.
Bring it up. It's two geese? Are they both pincushions?
It's a goose. It's a goose pattern, how to make the pincushion.
Oh, that's cute.
Yes. They have bandanas on them. So, yet another small thing that you could have a collection of that, you can... If having too many collections is you don't want to have too many things, these are small. I like these small things that you can pack away. Oh, that's cute.
That's apropos of nothing. That's just a Fitz and Floyd lamb. Yeah. But I have seen a sheep pincushion, also mid-century.
These are ones that you could pack away for 6 months, and then when you bring them out and you unpack them, it's almost like re-getting them all over again. And you can swap things out. Like you could do salt and pepper shakers and pincushions and swap them out.
I swap out whatever chickens sit on my table. It might be hens on a nest. It might be great big roosters. I switch them out every month. It's fun.
I have mine up in my attic, and then I'll go and I'll switch them out, and I'll be like, it's like buying them all over again.
Kind of. It's
You
fun
don't
to
have to pay
unwrap
for
them.
them. Yes, you're like, oh, I forgot about this one. I forgot about that one.
Yes.
So this is another thing to collect, pincushions. This is another little gift for taking to your bestie, which that's what I did. Hey, it's not the cost of the gift that matters.
That's right.
It's only $1, but that man probably wanted more for it, and I talked him down. Oh, that's cute.
I cannot believe that you bargained down that poor man. If I were having yard sales and I saw you more than one time doing that, I would ban you. I would say, not you, lady. You got too much of a hard bargain.
People like to bargain. They're like,
know they
okay,
do, but
you take this and and then I come back.
You take it to a fine science. Whew.
Yeah, I do.
You are a fearless haggler. I'll say that.
Yes, I love it. It's a game to me. It's fun.
Okay.
It's fun.
Putting together chicken hospitals and haggling with yard sale people. Yeah.
I like setting them up. When you were little, did you ever like play? I played like hospital with my baby dolls and stuff. Like I had a doctor's kit, and I had all my baby dolls set up in the all the stuff like the cradles they had, and I would go through and act like I was listening to them. I was born to be a nurse of whatever.
Okay.
It was nurse of animals, but that was fun to me. It was like, okay, we're going to make you better. But you're right. It is the satisfaction of being prepared.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the satisfaction of haggling someone from $5 to $4.
My Lord.
It
That poor old man may have needed that extra $1.
I don't know. I needed two. Oh, man. So, yes, pincushions. Poultry pincushions. Go collect them. They're great. Should we tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week?
Next week we are doing one of my favorite chickens ever, and that is the Brahma.
Oh, yes.
Main topic, we had some really fun adventures in the UK, and we're going to share some of the things we learned from visiting urban farms in London.
We've learned a lot, too.
Cracking the eggs, we're still in Strawberry Month, and we're bringing you a mixed drink, probably to celebrate all the mixed drinks we had in London. And this is a strawberry gin sour, and it's really good.
Oh, yeah. Drink it with your chickens.
And then, retail therapy, we are going hunting for chicken and poultry collectibles in the London and Paris markets.
We're going to tell you all about our good finds. Okay, so what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your chickens, ducks, and geese.
Every day, and kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. Thanks for listening.